welcome back to the channel, fool. Thanks for tapping in. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe for videos like this.
Flying above international waters. Anyone want to explain what I'm seeing? This was the same day LA fires started.
Government energy weapons?
Yo, this dude's got the rat shoes on?
Yes, sir.
Yo, where'd you get those?
They're in-brand potato. I just got them online. They're like $1.50.
150. Look at this. It even comes with the tail. Let me know. Would you rock these?
New Yeezy 2025?
Cuidado. 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 Oh, está bravo.
Cuidado.
You should get a tow truck.
I need tires.
More than tires.
What's tires?
Why 4 tires? What'd you do?
Why did I have to do something?
What did you do with blow 4 tires?
I didn't blow up somebody's stamp.
You should probably go get 4 tires before you drive on that thing. Or get a tow truck. That's the funniest thing I ever seen. That's hilarious. Don't sleep with people's men.
I don't. But they think I do.
Somebody's wife wasn't playing around.
Kamala can't save you on young, she lost. Once you sleep, ain't no telling what's gonna happen once you sleep. I ain't gonna lie to you. What's up?
What's up?
Come on.
Inflation.
Come on. Let's do it. Let's do it.
I'm trying to see if that's you or a mirage.
It's a mirage.
Garage?
Garbage.
Garage sale?
Butterfly.
Butterfly? Butterscotch?
Scorpion.
Yeah, that's me. Butterscotch.
Oh, you the Scorpion King.
Not Joker.
I'm the Joker. I'll light all this shit on fire.
Butterscotch.
You playing, kid.
Like a video game, Scorpion was the deactivation word.
This is Conan, and this is Crap, a British hip-hop duo from London, England. Conan came out to tell a story he never told before about signing his first record deal.
And then when we're sitting down with the lawyer's like, sign it, sign it. Don't matter what it is, just sign it, because they're not signing no one. Just take the check, take the money, just sign it. Like, it was a bit pressure-ish, and I'm like, why is he like pressuring me like that? Like, I didn't really like that. And I'll be honest, I've never told this story before, and I feel like I'm just gonna say it, because I feel like you should know. Anyway, when we signed it, before we signed the deal, I was a bit off on it, and because the pressure was a bit much, it was like, sign it, sign it. And I remember speaking to my old manager, right? And no, if I'm lying, I'm flying. He's phoned me, and we're in the studio, and I put him on loudspeaker, old manager, and he's like, yeah, like, what are you lot thinking about the deal? We're like, yeah, we want to sign it, but we want to wait and see what happens. And like, on God, Shams, yeah, his voice changed in like a demon's voice. Sign the deal, sign it now, sign it, sign it. I got so shook, I threw my phone on the floor. If I'm lying, I'm flying. Wallahi. His voice just changed into like a gremlin. And all he kept saying is, sign the deal, sign the deal, sign the deal. And I'm like, what the fuck? So I picked up the phone and I phoned back my manager, like, yo, bro, like, what happened to your voice, bro? He's like, what are you talking about? He's like, bro, your voice changed, bro. He's like, what are you talking about? Ended up signing the deal anyway, but...
And he still signed.
Oh, God. Look at that, bro. Look at that house.
We did get some footage that was sent to us by email, and there are some anomalies within this footage. And the first thing I want to show is this house that's burning from the inside first. And it looks like, you know, the inside caught fire first, and the outside looks still clean. I'm going to play it one more time. This looks like it's a microwave fire that caused, you know, induction of electric eddy currents through the metals and the wiring in the house, which causes resistive heating and ignites the adjacent objects. So yeah, when you see a house burn from the inside out, that's not normal. All right, and then we have another clip from this guy who is in Pasadena, actually, and he will say how his house, or at least his roof, was fireproof.
Any kind of build, remodel, anything, you know, the decisions after the decisions and the heart that goes into it.
Oh, the small details.
The details. You talked about the roofing. What about the roof? You said it was fireproof. So do you question what happened?
That's our question. How did it happen? Because the roof was tiled unless the fire came from the sides.
Yep. And
his car.
Yeah. So we also have a clip of his car, and I'm going to show that now. You can see that the front passenger rim has melted, and it's flowed about 4 feet there, and so that's at least 1,200 degrees. And the glass also appears to have been melted out of the car. I'm going to show it one more time so that you can get a good look. That's at least 1,200 degrees for the rims and about 2,700 degrees for the windshield.
And what's different with this car versus the other cars that we're seeing in these suspicious fires is the hood is still there. A lot actually survive that normally doesn't, but Porsches have their engines in the back. But it didn't look the same as some of the other ones. Like the rims could melt at a fairly low temperature, but the engine looked like it still had a cover, and it looked like the engine was probably still there too.
You could probably get the rims to melt naturally if you use the right kind of like pine or really high temperature wood, and you arranged it around the rim, and you had some sort of like rocket stove type furnace setup. You could get the rims to melt that way. But you can see that driveway had almost no fuel laying around the tire, and the wheel, the rim, there wasn't enough fuel to burn that rim like it was.
And play it one more time. I didn't see this.
Yeah. So you see, it was like in a driveway, and there's very, very little fuel within close proximity to the rim itself.
Hawaii.
He injected himself with a 3.5 million year old bacteria, trying to find the secret to immortality, and the results are fascinating. Anatoly Brushkov is a scientist who in 2009 found an ancient strain of bacteria in Siberia's permafrost that, when brought back to the lab, was shockingly still alive. So he started testing it on animals and crops, and the results were promising, with the mice getting an improved immune system and living longer while the crops grew faster. He also noticed people living in the region where he found the bacteria lived longer than average. So he decided to inject himself with the bacteria. He said after his injections, he had more energy and seemed to have an improved immune system, as he didn't get sick once for multiple years.
Is this how the zombie apocalypse is going to start?
That's wild. He's comfortable. he got a quick sniff. That's wild. Oh, his teeth is this. Oh. Oh, it's alright. Let's go. You might mess us up.
Are they bringing back the mannequin challenge?
Hola, mi amiga, le voy a poner. Hola, mi amiga, ¿cómo estás? ¿Todo bien? Esto es realmente perturbador, la mirada que tiene, mira cómo se ríe, tiene gesto. Y la piel es una piel bastante suave, es como si fuera un ser humano real. Es realmente perturbador. ¡Wow! Cierra los ojos. Increíble.
Really disturbing, and that's the word.
According to an article by Business Insider, a group of psychiatrists studied 400 movies, and in these movies they identified 126 psychopathic characters throughout film, and they chose Javier Bardem's character of Anton Chigurh as being the most clinically accurate portrayal of a psychopath.
By far the best character of a madman.
La primer Cybertruck mexicana. No, hombre. Tiembla Elon Musk. Tiembla, papá.
And that's depressing.
Bro, out of this whole burnt
Come
shit,
on, bro.
This Bible is not...
Nah, bro. Nah.
That's God. Look around, bro.
Nah, bro.
Untouched.
Nah, bro. That's weird, bro.
I gotta keep that. That's crazy.
I got goosebumps, bro.
I just did too. No cap, bro. That's God, bro. That's...
Nah, I got goosebumps,
You know they...
bro.
Just proved again, the Bible is a holy book.
Yeah, we were just talking about the wildfire situation and how crazy it is that they spent $24 billion last year on the homeless.
Yeah.
And what did they spend on preventing these wildfires?
Zero.
Zip.
Zip. And in 2019, I think Newsom said, you know, I'm going to take care of the forests and maintain the forests and do all that kind of stuff. He didn't do anything.
Didn't do anything. And then on top of that, they cut the water off.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's all funny. And then I think all our tax dollars probably went for Gavin's hair gel. I don't know, but it's like, you know, it's sad. It's like the place is just on fire.
Well, the whole state is just so poorly managed. It's so frustrating and confusing. And then he gets on TV and pretends like everything's great.
Mm-hmm.
And California is the best. We have the best state. We have the most amazing economy. And like, you're out of your mind, dude. You've ruined this state. Like, personally ruined it.
Well, it's the same team that was up in San Francisco, and they came down to L.A., and they're doing what they did in San Francisco. And
yeah,
San Francisco's kind of like apocalyptic now, you know.
Yeah.
I went there, and it's just like people, you know, homeless, you know, it's a mess.
It's just unbelievable that society can crumble that quickly.
Mm-hmm.
It really is unbelievable.
It doesn't take long.
No.
Yeah. I read a book once by Jared Diamond called Collapse. You ever read that book?
Yeah, yeah.
Crazy, right? It says all the things you need for a civilization to cave in and collapse. And a lot of the things are present. All those earmarks, the precursors of a collapse, they're present in our time. So it's an interesting observation.
Yeah.
And we're no smarter than our grandparents, I don't think.
Well, that brings me to one of my favorite movies of yours, is Apocalypto.
Oh, yeah.
You know, when the Mayans were running things, like, who could have ever thought when they had such an incredibly sophisticated society, unbelievable construction, like the stuff that they had built, that one day you just walk through there and there's nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing and nobody.
In fact, there's something, because it's interesting. Somebody was flying by what they thought was a volcano in the 30s, some buzzboy. And he thought, hey, somebody built that. Wait a minute, there's 4 by 8 foot bricks. That's man-made. And it is literally the biggest pyramid in the world. It's bigger than the ones in Egypt, and it's in Guatemala.
Yeah, we talked about that the other day. Yeah, it's a recent discovery, right?
Well, not that recent.
And they didn't spend it on the homeless either.
Cat Williams interview, if you think about everything he said, and you're able to dissect and go back and listen to all the things he said that were going to happen in the year, you notice everything did happen. I don't know how he knew. I don't know who he talks to, or who I mean, what inside information he might have. But everything he said, it came true. Everything he said came true. So there's some truths to everything that he knows, and the fact that he's saying I held back a little bit, he probably has stuff on people, and he just used jabs instead of throwing that haymaker. He could have, I'm assuming, he could have ended careers.
There's a possibility that you might hear the haymakers very, very soon.
Uh-oh. 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 Well, it's one thing, as long as I ain't in there, I'm good. Long as I ain't in there, we good.
Yeah. But he said he wrote it. I can tell you this, he's been writing more material.
Yeah. I don't know where he get his information from, but he be spot on.
There's
spot on.
January,
And where is the interview?
So I'm going past the house. What type of house is this and car? Look at this. What is that? And this is the house, y'all. The whole house, it looked like he got pots and pans on the side of the house with, I don't even know, rims.
That if you travel close to the speed of light, so if you had a spacecraft traveling close to the speed of light, then distances shrink from your perspective. The one number I always have in my mind is that the Large Hadron Collider at CERN the protons go around a ring, which is 27 kilometers in circumference, and they go around at 99.999999% the speed of light, so close to the speed of light. At that speed, distances shrink by a factor of 7,000, and so that ring is something like 4 meters in diameter to the protons.
Whoa.
So according to laws of physics, if you can build a spacecraft that goes very close to the speed of light, you can shrink the distance to the Andromeda Galaxy. And so you could traverse across that distance in principle in a minute, according to physics. However, the downside is that if you came back to the Earth at that speed to tell everybody what you'd found, at least 4 million years would have passed on the Earth.
Oh boy.
So we could, in principle, explore the galaxy and beyond, but getting to chat to everybody about what you found is forbidden.
Wow.
By the structure of the universe, which is the way that relativity works.
And he said forbidden, not impossible. And that's the perfect mix of introvert and extrovert.
You know you're not allowed to park here, right?
I'm not parked there. I got hit.
Yeah, you're not allowed to park here, bro.
I didn't park there. I'm waiting for a tow truck.
Yeah, but you're not allowed to park.
Car ran a red light and hit my car.
Yeah, but you're not allowed to park.
I can't move it.
You can't park there, bro.
I know I can't park there.
It's just literally, you just can't. I'm just telling you, you can't park there.
I'm waiting for a tow truck to tow my car. I can't move it. A car just ran a red light and almost killed me.
Okay, I just let you know you can't park there.
I know that.
Okay, you can't park there.
No way. Is that Chris? China and for newbies.
So today we're going to hit on the fires in California, and the sky's looking like this, and some weird things about it. So first we start with the unusual dryness. Well, that's because this cloud seeding program, which was augmenting rainfall, stopped. So California got really dry really quick. And before anybody says they wouldn't do it, here's 687 patents on augmenting the weather. Then there was another reporter who talked about how the firefighters have no water at all. Isn't that kind of odd? The other weird one was, look at this fire. It's on one side, and then it's on the other, but it's not on anything in between. The other odd part is all these cars blocking the roads. Everybody just got out, started running, which makes no sense, and blocked the roads. And then there's all these videos of the fire jumping from house to house, but not burning anything in between. Check this out. Lawsuits claim faulty PG&E smart meters started their house fire. Could this be the culprit? Then I was doing some more research on smart meter fires. Look at this. Just pops up. Tons of them. Interesting. So then I decided to look up what's in the smart meter, and check this. Lithium batteries, just like those Teslas which were left out on the street. And when they catch fire, the firefighters can't put them out. Isn't this kind of interesting? Then I decided to go way back to the San Francisco fires. Remember when the tops of the buildings only burned, but everything else remained? Check this. San Francisco gas light merges with PG&E. It's been going on for a long time, it seems.
These insurance companies knew something we didn't.
I believe that Whitney Houston figured out they were trying to kill her. She gave that note to Brandy. Brandy read the note, got scared, and went back and told her brother Ray J what Whitney told her. Because her brother was dating Whitney at the time. Right. I believe Ray J went back and told Diddy what was in that note, and I believe Diddy went and told Clive Davis. I believe Diddy told Ray J to go in that room and get her nice and comfortable, and when she's relaxed, give me a call. I believe it was Diddy that came to that room and did the job himself. Wow. Which is why Ray J left and was held in the hotel for hours.
This is all new for me. I'm really emotional right now. I really don't know really what to say. But what I will say is that I love and I'm hurt.
Then tried to come back in to pretend like he was comforting Bobby Christina. And then he was pushed out of the hotel and escorted out with another bad actor who was involved in the unalivement of Michael Jackson, escorted him out to the car. And not a good car, or a black car, or a limo car. Like a Toyota or a Subaru or something. Get out of here, get out of here. And they put him into the car, you can hear it.
I'll address the issue. I really miss my friend. I always look at my phone because I got a picture of somebody that I really love.
And Ray J has never been at peace ever since.
The monumental edifices of Egypt served a lot of different purposes. One of the purposes that it served was to create, in a living way, to recreate in stone the image of the heavenly kingdom. To also create sanctuaries where power could be preserved and protected. When I talk about power, I'm talking about what you might call spiritual power. So that it could serve the needs of the country, the culture, and the people. And not the least, to preserve a record of this civilization, because ultimately these same adepts knew that Egypt was going to decline and disappear from the stage of world history, and they were determined to leave a record of their presence and their accomplishments to posterity, and specifically to their descendants, who they knew ahead of time were going to crash and burn, historically speaking, and become strangers in a strange land, to in fact become enslaved. I think the adepts of ancient Egypt knew everything that was going to happen. And they knew that in order to pull these people, their descendants, and therefore their posterity, out from the abyss or the pit into which they had fallen, they had to have living monuments inscribed in such a way that the people could re-instruct themselves.
How can we do that? I mean,
we're doing it. We don't know that we're doing it, but we're doing it. We're doing it sort of haphazardly and unsystematically, and it's here, there, and it's an individual there. Slowly but surely, it is beginning to happen, but you've got to understand, you've got most people who, if you show, this is kind of a trivial example, but it's the reason why I went to see that movie 3 times. We are in a kind of a Matrix situation, like that movie, The Matrix. There's a reality that is already that we know, and then there is the actual reality. And you would be surprised how tenaciously people will cling to the reality that's been provided for them. People will kill rather than give that up in many cases. So this is not something, the re-education, the re-instruction is not something that's going to happen in my life. It's not going to be, you can try to plant seeds and begin to start in this lifetime. But you're talking 10 lifetimes, 10 generations, maybe 20, to complete the process.
You said that, I'd like for you to just deal with it a little more. You said that the adepts knew that we would go into slavery. Why do you say that?
Because they had the ability to manipulate time and space. Some of those adepts achieved an evolution of their own spirit where they were not bound, you might say, by the constraints of time, and therefore they could go anywhere in time and space. They could go backwards, or at least their vision could go backwards and could go forwards. It could see backwards and could see forwards. So they saw it. They saw it happening. They saw everything that was going to happen. And it wasn't anything they could do anything about. It was inevitable. It was fate. It was even necessary. See, that's what people don't realize. Yeah, we lost 85% of our population, but there was no other way to get our attention.
How could they have went backwards in time and forward in time? I mean,
Time and space is just energy. And it's just a matter of training yourself to get to the place where it's an interaction between you and energy, an agreement between you and energetic flows, because you yourself are energy. Now, you and I can't do it, but we have the capability of doing it. We just don't know that. These adepts spent not only their whole lifetimes training themselves to do this, they had the combined experience and knowledge of thousands of years behind them that had got them to the place where they could open doors to energetic worlds that are ordinarily inconceivable. And in these energetic worlds that they could go to, or they could see, they were not bound by the same limits that you and I are bound by. We go to those worlds. We call it dreaming.
Pyramids are fantastic power plants.
Очень тепло, давай. Сережа! Холодно, ё-моё. Со льдом это или снег? Нет, лед здесь. Даня, ты куда побежал? А? Не холодно?
Иди сюда. Даня, иди быстрее. Быстрее. Давай, Даня. Что, играть будешь?
Да. Мне холодно от вас.
And do you know it's a real booster for immunity?
In the year, almost a year that has passed, is that something else has begun to happen, they say, now inside the home. They're very afraid of what they have been, what they say that they have been witnessing inside their home. Can you describe what it is they're telling you?
Yeah, and I think that's the reason why Angel has pivoted from calling what he saw that night an alien instead, now calling it a demon, because he feels like he's seeing so much paranormal activity and just strange, unexplainable things happening inside of his home. There was two anecdotes, one in particular that we're about to show you that literally made the hairs on my arms stand up just because it is so freaky, so unexplainable. We have a segment of that part of the conversation. You mentioned paranormal activity. What exactly did you see?
Well, I was in another room. My brother called me, and there was a upside down cross, and there was a Jesus statue in it. They ripped Jesus out of it, they threw him like across the room, and it was floating upside down.
Are you saying floating in the air?
Yeah, like in the air. It was floating upside down.
What did you do? I mean, did you go pick it up? Did you knock it down? Like how?
No, I didn't do nothing. I was just sitting there. I was crazy. I was like, what?
But how did it come down? It's not still floating right now, is it?
No, it came down. So we got closer to it and then it dropped.
It fell to the ground. A crucifix,
yeah,
floating in the air, upside down. The Jesus on the crucifix had been ripped off,
yeah,
and it was floating.
Yeah.
And you can say definitively, without lies, that that is what you saw.
Yes.
Do you believe him?
Hey, where are you guys moving these kids to? Whoa. Where are you guys moving these kids to? Hey, where are you guys moving these kids to in this black car? Hey man, where is this going? Where is this driving to?
Just roll up the window, man.
Dude, I can blur your face. This is not looking good. Just all I'm asking is where this is going to, because a lot of these kids go missing. Where is this going to? That's all I want to know.
Okay, so where you working for? Who you working for? Roll up the window.
I'm independent media. And I've done a lot of work on this. My videos have millions of views. This is gonna look really bad if you roll up the window. Where are you guys taking these kids? That's all we want to know. Where are the kids going?
Okay, what do they tell you?
They won't tell me anything. Look, he's telling me to roll up the window.
Okay.
He's telling me to roll up the window. Where are you taking these kids? It's gonna look really bad if you roll up that window, bro. Where are you taking the kids to?
Okay, so who do you work for?
I'm independent. I work for myself. I'm an independent news reporter. Where are you going, man? Who do you? Whoa.
Sorry, buddy. Sorry. No, I have to put the window up.
Where are you taking these kids to?
Sorry, buddy.
Oh my God.
Is this where all the money is going?
I looked at it
swimming. Yeah. It's trying to find the oyster. It'll go inside of it, so it might disappear in a second. That's why I want to get the lady back over here.
Oh.
We'll find it, though. I won't let him disappear. See, the other one, he's going off to the side.
Yeah.
Ooh, I don't think I'll ever eat an oyster again after this. I was just saying how much I like him. It might have just done it for me.
This poor lady, I want to see this head chef.
People ask me why their grandparents or great-grandparents never talked about the reset. Why don't they remember anything about it? Well, let me try to explain it. First, there were the Cabbage Patch Babies. Now, these weren't just toys, you see. They became a symbol of something much bigger, a massive repopulation effort after the reset. These babies, they weren't born the usual way. They were produced almost mechanically in large numbers and distributed through a cold, efficient system. Strange, isn't it? Brings to mind ideas like cloning, doesn't it? And maybe that's why today you see so many folks who just seem to go with the flow. No questions, no thinking. Did you know they say nearly half the population doesn't even have an internal monologue? Imagine that, living life with a quiet mind, just following along. Those babies, those orphan trains, they were shipped off along with abandoned children who had survived the reset, taken from their families, sent to faraway lands. Many ended up in America. And when they got there, they were given a new story, the official version of history. No elders left to tell them the truth. Nobody to remember how things used to be. It made them easier to control, you see, easier to accept the new narrative.
Mind-blowing, but when is the next one?
I asked you about your bullhorn. Why are you walking the streets in an evacuation zone with a bullhorn?
Listen, I gotta keep it real. I gotta keep it 1,000. If I want myself, I want to be myself. If I ain't keep it 1,000, it's out here. It's crazy. It's happening. It's unfolding. I'm letting everybody know. If you don't know, you're gonna know. If you feel like you don't believe it, well, you're gonna believe it now. And I got the bullhorn to back me up. I'm speaking through the bullhorn because my voice is raggedy and I don't want to lose it anymore. But I know the bullhorn will give me an extra boost and it'll make a little louder noise than I can. So, sister, I'm letting that horn do what I can't do. Child.
Or what street maybe?
Bullhorn on God, check out my shoes, my foot hanging out, man. It's raggedy out here, bro. Grab everything you can and just go.
Are you on FaceTime?
With my cousin, she in Mississippi. Okay, wait, I'm not
Oh my
gonna
gosh.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, stay on. We'll be good.
Is this the same guy, a piece of burger from BK?
Like, I remember even tapping into bank accounts and everything off my Social Security. And I remember it was 6 accounts in my name. And I called didn't I call the Federal Reserve? I called the Federal Reserve Bank. I'm like, why do I got an account with $6 million in it that I've never opened myself? How did you get access to your account? That's when they really started messing with us. That's not the question. Why do I got an account with $6 million? Why do I got a bank account with a Bank of America account with $20 million in it, and I never had a Bank of America account? Who the hell is using the money? Then you start tracking down your Social Security number, putting a 0 in front of it, which makes it a 10-digit bank account number. Then you look at your birth certificate number, which is your routing number. So now you're like, hold on, I got a bank with all this money. And then you start realizing what Social Security is. And then basically you working for free, and then they're paying you little bitty percentages or fractions out of the account that you already had all this money built in because you're a natural born law-abiding citizen of the creator and not of man. So it's different types of tiers you operate on. You can operate as an indigenous in the private, as your natural born body self, or you can operate as a corporation, which is the name your mother and father gave you right before they sold you over and got a Social Security number and then sold your soul by taking the sole of your feet, putting it under some stamps, and then putting it on top of the birth certificate and selling you over to the corporation that we call the United States of America, which is not a country, it's a business, it's a corporation.
Yo, you can't. You there?
书证会条件，确认终端环境是否安全。
Car or supercar?
Listen, man, I don't with the witch no more. I can't with the witch no more. Like, even if someone tells me the drugs are still free, I can't with the witch no more. She's really, don't with the witch, man. I'm telling you, Split, you listening to me? Listen. Don't with the witch, man. You're not hearing me, dog. Don't with the witch, man. I'm telling you. You're not hearing me, man. You're not hearing me. Don't with the witch, man. Don't with the witch. God, are you listening to me, man? Don't with the witch. Oh my God.
And that was the last time we saw the real Eminem.
Se me como humo raro.
A ver, record.
Oh my God, babe, what is that?
I don't know. Is that an alien?
Yes. It is 100% an alien, Saida.
Okay, record.
What is that? It looks like a It went away now.
I'm still getting it on my camera.
What was that, babe?
Great form, guys. Keep pushing.
Do you know about alchemical sexual alchemy? Do you know that the story of Jesus, how it's been altered in certain ways? I mean, yes, there was a guy, yes, there was teachings, all that stuff. The parallel between that and alchemical sex is that there's 33 vertebrae in your spine. There's 33 years in the life of Jesus.
Christ.
Okay? There is a substance or liquid or a substance that comes from your medulla, which is basically completely looks like the Ark of the Covenant, has angels' wings around it, the whole thing. So this substance comes from your medulla, makes the trip down your spine to your sacrum, which is
Quick, get a dictionary.
Christ coming down into human form.
Yeah.
And if you don't squander that essence, that sexual essence, it ascends again and goes back up to heaven, which is your thing. It's also the story of Santa Claus. Why he comes down the chimney is because this juice or this whatever substance actually passes what's called the claustrum, which is where they got Santa Claus. So it goes down the chimney and back up the chimney.
It's also called Kundalini. Are they looters or helpers?
Isn't there spiritual significance with hair?
If I want you to do an experiment one day, it don't matter how long your hair is. It don't even matter if you bald for real. Go out in public all day and just pay attention to how you feel. And the next day, wrap your hair and go out in public and pay attention to pay attention to how much sharper you hear. Pay attention to how much sharper you see. Pay attention to how less connected you feel to everything around you. And pay attention to how much more connected you feel to yourself. How less often you pick up the emotions of others.
When you say wrap your hair, like kind of just wearing like a hat or like a do-rag or?
A do-rag, a t-shirt, anything that can completely cover your head.
Okay.
And always protect your crown.
He told me to drink my own urine and it'll fix what I have going on. Dude, I have to say, it worked. Wow. I just told you, my wife drank her own urine last week. I'm serious, and you're gonna hear why this is true. And it cleared out what she had going on. So what's going on? This is the oldest ancient medicine known to man. It's true. Let's talk about it.
The fact that you're giving stage and platform for this, I just respect and appreciate that. Urine therapy works because it's signaling the body with all the information of what is actually poisoning
Really,
you.
communication molecules, if you will.
Exactly.
Metabolites that do that, yeah.
Exactly. If you could say the biggest problem in life is toxins that are causing disease, then the
Yes.
antibodies are concentrated in the urine, but it's blood that's filtered through the kidneys.
Yeah.
And that's why it's sterile or sterile-like, and more purified than the blood, and so therefore it's the safest way
Right.
to consume.
Babies drink their urine in utero constantly, right?
Yeah, hundreds of milliliters per day, urinating every 1 to 3 hours,
Yeah.
and from 8 weeks on, the urine is then used to form their organs.
Every country in the world utilizes this technology, really, especially
historically.
ancient cultures, to get things well. Except in this country, it's looked at as, oh my gosh, stay away from your urine.
Yeah.
You hope that changes.
Exactly. That's the future. To me, it's the only way out of this system because it's universally accessible and everyone can play.
Affordable. Awesome, man. Thank you.
Interesting.
Pathways underneath that are all connected.
It's like if you go to McCormick Place, if you go, they got the little tunnels over there too, because they be flooding over there too.
Really?
Yeah.
So it's connected, you think?
Yeah. So this whole campus, the whole campus is connected. I was told there's tunnels, you know what I'm saying? It's like the tunnels along the lake that you can go down in. Heard that from somebody that he was working for 43 years.
Really?
Been here for 43 years. He been here for 43 years. He retired, I want to say like last week sometime.
They won't allow access to the public.
Okay.
And then they only allow access to very, very few of their actual workers here.
I feel like the building was here already.
What do you tell your child when you're coming to a new location and they're asking you questions and you have no answers?
How hard would it be to just make it black and white and then make it look like they're doing some construction right now?
Or you're presenting them like on maybe a TV documentary, let's say, and it's just an image that's going to come and go. And 99.9% of people looking at them are not even going to scratch their head. They're going to just say, well, there it is. There's the construction.
They whitewash the skies. They call it vanilla skies.
They'll blotch out the sky and cut away from what they want to leave in the photo. They can cut away what was there and replace it with a gray or white vanilla colored sky.
Vanilla sky, where the background is cut out and you can see the crop marks. It's like, well, why would they do that? If you see one construction photo that's off, where they've painted in scaffolding or they've taken out backgrounds, you have to stop. Why did they go to the extent to do this? You have to ask the question. This was an industrial scale. Exquisite masonry buildings were built in 1 or 2 years. These take time. I mean, you put 1 or 2 years just into the planning. Every doorknob, every cornice over a window is celebrated. And this is why the architecture is so beautiful. It's an architecture of celebration.
The outside's incredible, but the inside is built like a palace. There's such a lack of photos from the inside of these buildings. And they're incredible. When you had the Kleksinski building in Chicago that took 14 years, and then you come back and you look at the one before that, the Federal building, built in 7 years. How is that possible? They're not gonna be able to bring these things all the way up to the top, get these people that have no training, and actually create this amazing thing that lasts forever. Why are none of our grandparents or great-grandparents ever speaking highly of these buildings? If they were truly built in the early 1900s, do you think one of our grandparents would have been like, yeah, I was at the site and I'm so proud of building that? Or my friend, I knew somebody and he was over there building that building? Not one time. Does that sound odd?
Let's just have some common sense. And whose food is this?
You know what happens if you pour honey over onions. Chances are your grandparents knew very well. They might have even made this remedy as it was common knowledge 70 years ago. The honey will begin to ferment and extract the onion's anti-inflammatory substances. Onions also contain allicin, a powerful natural antibiotic that is effective against throat and lung infections. Leave the jar on your kitchen counter. In about 12 hours, your medicinal syrup will be ready. You should make it at the first sign of a cold or flu, or if you're dealing with a stubborn cough. I'm sure you'll have no trouble getting a hold of the 2 ingredients. Take it by the teaspoon until symptoms subside. Onion syrup was just one of the home remedies that offered relief to our grandparents.
And you can go wrong with Grandma's recipe. And that's a wrap on this episode, fool. I hope you enjoyed it. If so, don't forget to hit and smash the like button for me. Smash that subscribe button, be part of the family. Remember, stay woke, and I'll catch you next time.